Guess what's so boy?
150 gunning, I'ma run it in the fast lane. Past lanes, watch me like a matinee. Running through the toe, easy pass him in the cash lane. The past staying and I'm never looking back, man. Pop shit, I ain't really trying to talk it out. Drop hits, I can show you what it's all about.
All right, hello and welcome to week 18. Never before, will happen again, but never before. Week 18 episode of Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets. I'm your host, back finally. Coming off a tail end of COVID, so I'll try to mute myself if I cough. But I am your host, Nick. Alongside me are my three permanent co-hosts. Starting with the guy below me, Sir. At least on my view, it's below me. Sir, how we doing?
I'm all right, man. Welcome back, kid. Welcome back.
Good to be back. Tim, how we doing?
Living the dream, man. Kicked out of COVID. We're all healthy, happy. Doing good.
There we go. And we got our newest member.
Oh, yeah.
Who's been on the show all year and will continue to be on the show. Mr. TruExact himself, Scott. How we doing?
I'm good, man. I'm ready for playoff football. The Cowboys haven't been there in 3 years. It's been 3 years since I've seen a playoff game, which I know it's not that long, but I just, the longer football gets extended, the better for me.
There are playoffs in football?
Yeah, you were there twice, back-to-back years. You lost both AFC championships, remember?
Yeah, no, I blanked out those awful memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we will get into the playoffs. We'll talk about the confidence in all of our teams except for Tim's. Tim can talk about, I don't know, maybe next year's draft. We'll also talk about the top story, at least more news leaking out today about the Antonio Brown stuff. We've got a new segment, which we'll have some fun with, called Blind Vote. And we'll get into that, and then we'll have some fun with that, troubleshooting. We will also go through we're doing 5 games, right? We're doing 2 Saturdays, and we're doing any 3 Sunday games that we like. So we will give you our best bets for that. We've had a successful fantasy football season. I think most of us did. So we will try to translate that into some DFS picks for you guys. And other than that, I'm ready to rock and roll. As always, you could catch us at SBFS Show on Twitter and Twitch. The show will drop pretty quickly. Scott's been doing a pretty good job of getting that out as fast as possible. But for the sake of the story, we'll say Saturday morning the latest. You will have all of our picks. There is no game on tonight, so there's no need for prop bets, although maybe we'll shoot some out on Twitter. Maybe Saturday or Sunday, depending on if we have a feel for anything. And without further ado, Scott, why don't you hit us with any shows you have coming down the line on the TruExact show, anything you have?
Right. So actually, I got with Eric and Brian last night, and we did 4 episodes, but it was the bullshit episodes. It was something we haven't done in a while. We focused so much on interviews. I talked about my eBay debacle, my near-death experience in a car crash, my hate for the movie Power of the Dog, and the dead internet theory. So look for them coming, all 4 separate episodes. We will have Evan Roberts from WFAN coming on later this week. The episode will drop maybe next week. Battle rapper from London Kruger. And we're also going to have on Bill Oakley again from The Simpsons to talk about his Steamy Choice Awards and some other people in the works, but that's it for now.
Awesome. So that sounds great. And we will kick it off right now with some Antonio Brown news. Obviously, this is Thursday, so we are about 4 or 5 days removed from Antonio Brown and the whole debacle, leaving the field in the middle of the game while the Buccaneers are losing. Basically, what looked like quitting on his team. Then, obviously, everybody on Twitter and everybody in the world comes out and says, pray for him, mental health, all these different things, CTE, Vontez perfect hit. Every comedian comes out when something like that happens. And then a lot of players come out and say, you don't know the backstory. You don't know what's going on. Keep your mouth shut. You're not an expert. Everybody's an expert on Twitter. A little back and forth there. Tom Brady took the high road, it looked like, kind of saying, almost alluding to the fact that we don't know the full story, which I'm sure we don't. But I think the big story, and the Buccaneers have since come out and kind of touched base on it, saying that they immediately released him. He hadn't been released until today. But Antonio Brown came out and basically said the team had him playing hurt, kind of a varsity blues type situation is the best way to describe it, where he's playing hurt. Coaches knew about it. We're giving him a powerful what's a painkiller, something that the NFL doesn't approve or doesn't, recommend. All of this, yada, yada, yada. I hope I'm not yada, yadaing over the best part. Scott, what are your thoughts? I think ultimately we'll kind of fall on, do we think he's going to play again? But what are your thoughts on the entire situation?
I mean,
we're not experts, but
obviously when you saw it, you jumped to conclusion, and us three were actually at a bar when it happened together, and we were like, what the hell is going on? And after hearing both sides, I actually believe him. I do. I believe that happened. I don't. The problem is it's like a boy who cried wolf type thing, because he has so many strikes against him. It's hard to take his word for it, but I actually do believe that's what happened, and I think that will save him. I think it came off pretty genuine, and people will give him another shot because of that. I do think it came off like he wasn't lying. If it came off bullshit, I don't think he'd get another shot, but there'll be someone who takes him. I mean, one more chance. We say that all the time, but listen, teams are desperate, and if Devontae Adams got hurt tomorrow, God forbid, you don't think they'd make a call to Antonio Brown for the playoffs? I mean, it would happen. So I think it's a situational thing, but I do believe him. And I hate people who are like, oh, he was jumping fine in the end zone. It's way different than running routes.
He said the same thing. I agree.
It is. It's like, yeah, my people walk off the field with torn ACLs, and then, wow, okay, I can't play. So I do believe him, though.
Sir, you think we'll ever see him again?
I don't know, but what I'm saying is, like, it's week 18. I think half the league is hurt, has some kind of ailment right now. So to say, oh, I was too hurt to play it's a bit, I don't know. I mean, only AB truly knows how hurt he actually is. So, but I mean, somebody will pick him up. There's still people. Teams always get needy for a receiver, so, and he's still talented. So somebody will pick him up.
Tim?
He's a fucking liar. I don't believe anything that comes out of this dude's mouth. He could have a $20 bill in front of me, and this is a 20. I'm like, no, it's not. I don't know, man. I don't believe him. It's just that simple.
What would he have to gain, though, in lying? Like, what?
Make up an excuse of why he acted a fool and fucking left the way he did? I mean, listen, if you're too hurt to play and they give you shit, like, I don't know, just fucking sit there on the sideline. There's no reason for him to do what he had to do, showing up the coach, showing up the organization. I would be very, very surprised if another team brings him in. It's just, it's to the point where it's not worth it. You know something's going to happen. There's going to be some sort of circus involved. Even if he's in the right, it becomes a bad look.
Yeah.
The problem is if he guys, anybody watching at home, thanks for tuning in as always. And if you have a comment, drop it in Twitch, and Tim will MC that and try to get us any questions or additional comments. But I think if he was, and I'm not trying to be derogatory to the Jets, but I think if like the three teams that he had issues with were like the Jets, the Browns, and the Jaguars, then I think people would, think differently. But the problem is, like, he had a short stint with Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, he had a decent stint with Pittsburgh with Mike Tomlin. He had a short stint with the Patriots with Bill Belichick. He's got Bruce Arians, and he had, the Oakland Raiders and John Gruden. So he's had like a pedigree of coaches that are like well known and very popular and have a great background in handling situations. And I think sooner or later, to me, it's kind of like if like you can't figure it out with those four coaches, like I don't know if you're ever going to figure out like who if Bill Belichick can't get you playing, and Bruce Arians and Mike Tomlin can't get you playing, I'm not sure who necessarily can. So talent always supersedes any kind of behind the scenes bullshit and drama, and he is super, super talented, still super talented. I mean, I know Buccaneers fans that thought that he'd lead at least over Godwin or over certain players in receiving. I mean, and, out of camp, you heard that he was, ultra talented, playing better than he's ever played before. Pittsburgh, Antonio Brown, youngest receiver with multiple stats. But you look at a guy like Jerry Rice, and I know Sir will smile to that, and, players who did it the right way, or even Terrell Owens as an Eagles fan, like, people that compare him to Terrell Owens is not Antonio Brown. Or Antonio Brown is not Terrell Owens. Like Terrell Owens was a head case doing the sit-ups in the parking lot or in his driveway. We've all seen it. We've all seen the video. But like the guy was a baller and the guy came to play. Like Antonio Brown just seems like there's some issues.
Yeah, but he's out of those coaches you mentioned, Nick. I don't think anyone has ever brought up that he never played hard. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not defending him as a person. Like, I think he's nuts. He might have mental issues. Who knows? He needs help. But he's never not brought it. So, like, if he says he's too hurt to play, I mean, and if this is all true, if Arians literally said, get in, he goes, coach, like, I really can't play. And he said, then you're done. If that's what happened, I am all for what he did. Like, fuck you. Like, I'm all for it. So, we'll never know, though.
No, I guess not.
Well, you know the old saying, there's 3 stories. Their side, my side, and then the truth. So it lies somewhere in between the 2 reports. I guarantee you that.
But none of the Bucs players want to come out right now that are on the team and take Antonio Brown's side. So I think more will come out when some of those players leave the team in the next few years. It'll be in some books.
Well, I'm also curious to see how much of because I know he had like a lot of incentives, like bonus money that had played a part in this whole thing.
So it's funny you say that, sir, and I'll see if I can pull it up fast enough. While I'm pulling it up,
yeah, sir, that's a good point. So basically, like, he had all the necessary reasons to want to play. Like, if he was actually hurt, like, you know, I guess maybe $1 million to him isn't a lot.
Yeah, it was total. It was like a couple catches, he would have got 333K. I think yardage would have got another 333K.
Yeah,
something else was so like he had a chance to make $1 million. Like, I mean, to him, it's probably, you know.
So Antonio Brown needed 11 more receptions, 281 more yards, and 2 touchdowns for a $333,000 bonus on each. So up to $1 million in bonuses left on the table. But when you're a multimillionaire, I mean, I don't know what his net worth is, but $1 million to him might be a speeding ticket to us. I don't. You know, I truly
I'm just saying, man, $1 million, bro. That's good money.
No, I mean, of course.
So, and like, if he's about that money, like, you know, the fact that like he's playing and he doesn't have a chance to get those incentives, then.
Do you think this will affect the Buccaneers at all?
Nope.
Nah.
They still got Tom Brady at quarterback, so
that's it. They got TB, man. That's
it. Playoff Tom is something different, man.
Yeah, I don't think they're that. I mean, you never know. I just don't think they were set to repeat. I don't think they were gonna either way. I mean, who knows? I could be wrong, but they just don't look the same as last year.
Well, I mean, they got gutted by injuries. It's just.
I think they could get bounced. I mean, I think if a team like the Eagles played them pretty tough, and I think if the Eagles as a 7 go in there as a 2, an athletic quarterback. I mean, Tom Brady doesn't play defense. He doesn't have Belichick there as a mastermind anymore to cover up some of the flaws if Brady's offense isn't there. So I think teams could give them fits this year, but we'll see.
And the whole team is getting hurt. Like the running game with like Fournette's been banged up, Rojo's banged up. Is like, so the team is still the same Bucs team as it was in week 1 or week 2.
And just to touch on the Antonio Brown thing, Eddie, we're not saying that the coach got rid of him so he wouldn't hit his bonuses. The coach was asking him to get in the game. And Antonio Brown was one who said, no, I can't go, coach. So it is what it is. And yes, Lippy, we read the text. It's easy to fabricate text messages nowadays. So I don't know, you know, how true any of that is. It's still Antonio Brown. You still got to take everything with a grain of salt. He's also the same dude who fabricated his COVID test. Card. So, I mean...
That's the other thing. He's had issues already this year.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't even the first issue he's had this year. This is just the biggest issue he's had this year.
It was just
far.
It was so funny, man. I don't care. I don't care who you are. Fucking nutcase.
The memes out there were killing him, though, bro.
Oh, yeah, I know. They were the funniest were the memes. I mean, Twitter, everything like that. There's nothing better than Twitter when something like this happens. But
the internet is undefeated.
It certainly is. That's the expression. And you look at like stuff like that, and like for him specifically, and there's multiple times where I'm like, this has got to be like he can't top this. Like the man's the gift that
hold my beer.
Yeah. He literally just continues and continues. So my team's in. Scott's team's in. Tim's team is not.
See you later.
So I'll start. Tim, go get a drink. So I'll start with Sir on this. I got to know your confidence level because I'm nervous for you. You got to play the Rams. You got to beat them. If you lose, you have to hope the Saints lose to Atlanta. I'd have to think that the Saints are going to beat Atlanta, who's playing for nothing. A divisional game, they could be motivated by being a spoiler, but New Orleans is the better team on paper. The Rams are the better team on paper. Where's your thought process going into this? What's your confidence level?
First of all, can I say the NFL tiebreaker system is a complete joke? A complete joke. Eagles 9-7. They clinched it last week. San Fran 9-7. We beat the Eagles heads up, and now we got to go play Week 18 to win or get in. Come on now, it's nonsense. But yeah, listen. We beat the Rams early in the season. Gave them to it pretty handily actually on Monday night. Yeah. I mean, Shanahan usually owns McVay. You know what I'm saying? So at other teams, it's probably the team that you want to play in the division right now. But we shouldn't be in this position. We should have had clinched already, but whatever. We'll see. I mean, listen, Atlanta could beat New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? It's not out of the realm. It's not like the Saints are world beaters. You know what I'm saying? So they could lose to Atlanta and then we get in, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm gonna say this tiebreaker system, bro.
There's a lot of moving parts in this too, and I guess from an Eagles standpoint, it's hard to. So I guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the Eagles can move up to the 6th seed. I guess if that were to happen, because they'd have the tiebreaker over the Saints. If the Eagles win, that is, and they're playing Dallas. And like I said, there's a lot of moving parts. Like Dallas is what seed right now, Scott?
They're a 4, and it would be really hard to move up. So I think personally, I would play everyone as the Cowboys just because I like momentum going into the playoffs. I think what the Bengals are doing is the stupidest thing they could possibly do as a young team. This is your first run. And you might think, oh, we'll be back. You may never get back. Go for it now. Keep the momentum going. So, yeah, we're the 4th seed right now.
Yeah, Dallas can move up to it, too, if the right things happen.
It would take Tampa to lose at home to Carolina and the Rams to lose at home to the Niners. So, I think the most they could do is move up to 3 if the Niners could beat the Rams. But I don't think it matters. I'd almost rather get the 4 and play the Cardinals again. I want Arizona to come back into Dallas because I think it's very hard for a team to win on the road at the same place 2 times in 3 weeks. And if they do that, as a fan, I'll tip my hat. There's nothing you can do.
I would tell you as an Eagles fan, the 2 teams that scare me the most are Dallas and Green Bay.
Yeah,
I think the Eagles could beat any of the other teams.
And
I really do. And could they beat Green Bay? I mean, they could. They beat the Patriots with Nick Foles. Could they beat Dallas? Sure, they could. But those are the 2 teams that scare me the most because I think one is Aaron Rodgers and you'd be playing them in Lambeau. Yeah. And the other one is just even though Dak's been up and down and their defense is okay, hasn't been great. The Eagles defense has actually been playing very well. Offensive line's always strong. Coach Sirianni's got, Hurts playing really, really well. Not asking them to do too much, running the ball a lot more. So could they beat those teams? Sure, but those are the 2 teams that scare me the most in the NFC.
Yeah.
You got to think Philly, just in my opinion, I know they're dealing with a whole bunch of COVID issues. That I think is going to play a huge factor into whether they, use the whole playbook.
Right, especially if they have to somehow go. If they win this game and they jump to a 6, and then there'd be no reason to. Actually, I don't think we could play each other unless Dallas jumps to it too, Nick. It would be very hard, but
in the sense that I'm not. They're not going to play Green Bay first round. Obviously, I didn't think they were going to play Dallas first round, or I think certain things would have to go. I'm just saying in terms of the playoffs. If I'm an Eagles fan and you go into the season, you got to think so. Nick Sirianni, horrible press conference, opening press conference, talking about systems, stuttering over himself, looked like an idiot. I talked to you guys a couple weeks ago. I sent you the picture. So Chris Sims, who's an idiot anyway, hashtag Chris Sims, also 2 years ago said that Devontae Adams wasn't a top 10 quarterback or wide receiver, put Jalen Hurts out of his top 40 quarterbacks. Kellen Mond was number 37 in his list of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So, and he didn't even start against the backup against Green Bay. Kellen Mond didn't even he got into the game late in the game. Like, they didn't even want to play.
And he looked like trash.
Exactly. So you look at where the Eagles were, supposed to be the fourth best team in the division, supposed to be absolute rebuild. And you look at where they're at now. For me as an Eagles fan, and I don't want to hear losers mentality, things like that. Like, if they win the Super Bowl, I mean, it would trump the Nick Foles story.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I would like to see them play either win the first round game or be competitive, lose a competitive game. Because I think as an Eagles fan, the thing that would scare me the most is coming off of like an easy stretch run towards the end of the season is get completely destroyed by a team. If they get completely destroyed by a good team, it almost erases everything that they did, because then it's like, well, they played shitty teams. That's why they made it in the first place. Just capitalized on a weak schedule. If they could play competitive, it's something to build off of with 3 first-round draft picks going into next year. So that's where I'm at as an Eagles fan. Scott, Dallas is one of the best teams in the NFC. I hate Dallas, but I'll be the first one to tell you that Dallas is one of the best teams in the NFC. What's your confidence level going in?
I think if you ask Packer fans, we're the one team they don't want to play. I really do. I think that if any team could go into Lambeau in 5-degree weather, I'd rather play in Lambeau versus Aaron Rodgers than Aaron Rodgers come to Dallas and play on an even turf field. I think Dallas is built to beat a team like Green Bay. And I would be pretty confident, but I'm more worried about a team like Tampa in the second round before you even have to get to Green Bay. But hey, they could lose to the Cardinals. It's weird. They're like not built to beat the Cardinals, but they're more built to beat the Packers. So we see it all the time. Football's all matchups. It just is all matchups. Those years the Giants won the Super Bowl, the Saints got bumped. And like they were lucky they didn't have to go to the Superdome and went to San Fran instead. You see it all the time. Like you just see it all the time with matchups. But I think the Eagles are a good team. And with I said that to my brother as an Eagle fan. When they were like 2-5, I was like, you guys could sneak into a wild card as long as you have an athletic quarterback. And I don't think Hurts is great. Like as long as you have an athletic quarterback in today's game, you have a shot. And our division's nothing great. So with you guys, it should be, even though you lost to the Giants, it should be 4 easy wins. I mean, Dallas, it should be 5 or 6, but I think the Eagles have a chance to win 1 game. I really do. And then you'd go into Lambeau, and I don't think you'd win. But hey, Aaron Rodgers ain't playing this week probably. That's 3 weeks off. In football, you know, the Giants went in there in 2011. They were 15-1, and they beat them. So, and Jalen Hurts is more athletic than Eli. He's not a better quarterback, but can't believe I just complimented Eli Manning. Hey, if Kirk Cousins could go into Lambeau and win a game, so could Jalen Hurts.
Tim, I'll ask you this. So, facing a team like Green Bay, who's been to the championship game 2 years in a row, and lost both, obviously losing to Tampa Bay and losing to San Francisco. Sir, hashtag blessed. If you start out hot against them and score a touchdown or two, go up 14-0, go up 10-0. Do you think that Green Bay would kind of stagger a little bit? I guess is my question in terms of, you just lost 2 in a row. You're down now at home. A little bit more pressure added on, more pressure than normal being the number 1 seed. I mean, you should make it to the Super Bowl if you're the number 1 seed, in theory. Certainly can't lose to a number 7 seed, which didn't exist. Years ago. So, Tim, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's still Aaron Rodgers, right? He's still a really good quarterback. I don't think getting down early is going to affect the way that he plays like it would, heaven forbid it's Jalen Hurts and you flip the script, right? You don't know what he's going to feel like in the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers still got to the championship game 2 years, so, I don't know. To be honest, I think the Green Bay goes the whole way. Yeah. But I think it's their year, especially if they can run the ball with the two-headed monster they got back there. It's gonna take a team effort to beat them for sure.
Perfect game.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Especially when it be at Lambeau and with it's gonna be like 5 degrees, if not colder. So it's gonna be tough. But
And
I think about it. If my boys can get in, like all the top teams should be afraid to have the team come to their house, because I mean, all the top teams should be worried. But we got to win to get in first.
Scott, just real quick.
I think there's more pressure on the Packers this year than any of those 3 years, though. I think like Aaron Rodgers is, he talked a lot this year and he's backed it up. But this is your second straight year with a home playoff game, with home field. And I know it's not your fault all the time, but this is gonna be a time where, like, if you don't win and you pull this antic again, are the Packers gonna deal with it?
Especially in the beginning, saying the last dance and all that. Like, listen, with the Bulls in the last dance, it ended with a championship. Yeah. Can Rodgers and company repeat that feat?
Listen, if you think Aaron Rodgers is going to sit out this last week with the chance to become MVP, if he sits out the last week, you think he wins the MVP?
Yeah, because Brady. No. Yeah, I do. I think it's settled, and I don't think he cares. I think he wants a Super Bowl more than MVP.
I should have heard what he said with the.
I heard. Yeah.
Report, man.
The voter. Yeah.
Well, he's right about that voter. The voter's an idiot. But I just think he. I mean, would you want Aaron Rodgers? Listen, he's gonna have a week off anyway. Would you want him playing? It's different if I don't want Dak to sit out. Dak is not Aaron Rodgers. I need Dak as a fan to. I don't want Jalen Hurts to sit out if I'm an Eagle fan. That's why the Bengals are going to regret benching Joe Burrow. I am telling you, that is a dumb move. That is so fucking stupid as a young team. It's just so dumb. That's my opinion on it, though.
I'll tell you what. If Aaron Rodgers' foot is healthier than it was the week before, he's going to go out there and play the whole game. I
might take Jordan Love in DFS. That's not good.
Your boy.
So, anything else on the recap, playoffs, anything like that? Or you want to try to have some fun with this new segment?
Would you say JTS, Jets?
There you go.
Can I just say really quick, I'm so happy that this week the Mark Gastineau single season sack record will get broken fairly. I'm very excited about that.
I saw this tweet.
By what? I'm very excited.
Do you agree with Cooper Kupp's opinion that all the 7 or 18 week records get an asterisk next to it? Where they just start new records?
14 games. Watt only played 14 games.
I understand that part, but
I don't. They did it. They did that with Maris with the home runs, and then they got rid of it.
Now, the game changes. You start poking holes in multiple things through multiple sports. I think true fans understand and get it, and know what's going on. So,
just one salty guy in the top left.
Here you go. So let's have fun with the new segment. We're looking at blind picks. So what I'm going to do, I'll be the host of this, and then I'll throw my 2 cents in along the way. But I got 3 awards, futures awards. We're going into the last week of the year. A lot can happen. A lot can change. I'm going to give you some stats on some players, and I want you to tell me who you would pick. You're all allowed to ask one question per award, yes or no question. And I'll answer it the best I can, try to get the information quickly if you need it. I think with some of them, you'll know who I'm talking about right away. With some of them, you might not. Some of our savvy listeners might know too. But ultimately, what we're looking at is the top 2 or the top 3 people in 3 specific awards that I think could go either way. And we'll start with Comeback Player of the Year. So we have one player. Obviously, both instances, the Comeback Player of the Year was injured last year. In one instance, you have a player who currently going into the final week of the year has 4,611 yards. They have 34 touchdowns. They have 14 interceptions and a quarterback rating of 108.3. The favored player for Comeback Player of the Year has 4,154 yards, 32 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 100.9. Do you like the favorite or do you like the next man up? And I'll start with Scott.
The problem is with the awards, you know me, I go by eye test, but and I know who the favorite is. Honestly, I would go with the runner-up. I don't want to hear about injury. I was all adamant last year about how someone shouldn't have won it just because of the injury they had. So I'd be a fraud if I acted the complete opposite this year. If the stats remain the same and the season ended today, I would take the runner-up.
So just for the sake of this, and I'll get Tim and Sir. So the runner-up is plus 105 right now on Barstool. The favorite is minus 134. Sir, favorite or runner-up?
I'm pretty sure I think I know who both these options are. So I'll take option C, the person on that list. but for the sake of this argument, I'll go with the runner-up or the option B.
Okay, Tim.
Can I ask my question?
Yeah.
Is the runner-up playing in Week 18?
I don't think so.
Then I'll take the favorite.
Okay. Anybody want to guess? I think we all know who the favorite is. Does anybody?
I don't know who the runner-up is.
Joe Burrow is the runner-up.
Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Yeah, I would absolutely take Burrow. I mean,
and the third on the list is the better Bosa, who I believe is also at
I knew you were. I knew you were gonna. So, but I think it's super interesting there because I think that Burrow, almost 1,000 yards in 2 weeks, put himself right up there. I mean, he's beating them in yards, almost 500. He's beating them in touchdowns. He's got more interceptions, 4, but he's got a higher quarterback rating. Like, to me, I'm throwing money down on Burrow. Like, I think that's a good bet.
If he doesn't play, I can't. Something about not playing the last game, I think, could sway.
Yeah, but it's not like it's a batting title. You know what I mean? Like, that's cheap. When it's like a batting title, that's fucking cheap. I think like most football fans could watch a game and be like, all right, Dak had a bad game, but he still is comeback player of the year, or vice versa. I don't think one game really matters. That's just me. It's not like a batting championship.
Can I just say, if you had Joe Burrow in fantasy, congratulations, you won your championship. Like the last 2 weeks, absolutely cooked.
Yeah,
luckily I got Jamar Chase in my finals, so
unless you had Joe Burrow in the semis, he ride you to a championship and then you bench him. But thank you.
I could say there's no argument for either though. Like at least either could win, and there's really no debate. It's whatever, like there's no like, oh, that's bullshit in that one.
Right. All right. Well, let's move on to MVP. Which is the next award on the list. And we're obviously, I think you guys know who the top 2 people are, but I'm going to read the stats and not give the names, and you guys let me know your 2 cents. So the favorite right now is minus 500, and his stats are 3,977, 35 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 111.1. However, you have the runner-up at 4,990 yards, so almost 1,000 more yards than the favorite right now. You also have 40 touchdowns, so you have 5 more touchdowns, but you do have 8 additional interceptions at 12. You also have a quarterback rating at 100.5. Both teams are playoff teams. Again, I think anybody who watches football and is an avid bettor, which if you're watching the show, unless you like us really a lot, you're probably a bettor, knows who these 2 players are. Sir, I'll start with you. Who are you taking?
Yeah, give me the favorite. I know who the favorite is, but just,
I think
with the piece, like he's in comparison sense, putting up close numbers, and like with the cast around him is probably significantly worse. So yeah, I'll take the favorite.
I will too, and I'll back it up because I think yards are kind of bullshit as a quarterback. So give me the yards, give me the less interceptions instead of more yards. I mean, think about how crazy that is. What is it? 39-4 is his touchdown interception. Most quarterbacks strive for a 2-to-1 ratio. Rodgers at a 5-to-1. That's fucking insane.
I don't know the stat. Don't fact check me, but I'm pretty sure he leads the league in throwing the ball away. Which is so like, that cuts down on interceptions. If it's not there, he throws the ball away and onto the next play. So I'm not saying it's dumb. It's just You know, he's been able to do that quite often.
I would say too, like once again, the eye test. You watch Rodgers; he makes plays with his feet the other guy can't. Like he just can't. He's the best athletic quarterback we've ever watched. I mean, we're never going to see that again. Like what's crazy is Brett Favre might be the third best Packers quarterback in the history of the franchise. That's fucking nuts. It's not fair.
You crowning Jordan Love already, or what?
I was gonna say you put Jordan Love up there,
man. Art Starr and Rodgers could be better. You could argue Starr was better. I mean, for the time. Yeah, I'm taking a favorite, man.
Tim, favorite?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want it to be Jonathan Taylor. I'm not going to lie, but
you have money on it, but
ain't gonna happen. But me too.
Never know. Hey, Rodgers doesn't play.
And Taylor runs for 4 touchdowns, and he gets the Colts into the playoffs. It's a long shot, but it could happen.
Hey man, we don't like to talk about non-quarterback. Why can't Cooper Kupp get some little?
I agree.
He's right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Offensive player of the year, maybe. I don't know. Depends on who breaks records.
I won't say forever because, I mean, and whenever you say, will it ever happen in history, it's just a stupid argument. But in the next 10 years, just yes or no points, will there ever be an MVP that is not a quarterback? Next 10 years?
Yeah.
Yes.
We had one.
It would take a record-breaking season, but yes.
AP. Didn't Adrian Peterson win it?
The year that he was close to breaking the rushing?
Yeah, it'll happen.
And I think you're more likely to get a running back to take it down than a wide receiver. Because if a wide receiver has a historically great season, the quarterback probably puts up some numbers as well. So the quarterback will get it.
I just can't see a wide receiver ever winning it. Like you said, I could see a running back possibly. I just can never see a wide receiver do it.
It would have taken a guy like a Steve Smith with a bad quarterback like Del Home. Someone like that, when the QB's not that good, but like all these good receivers have good quarterbacks now. Stafford, and it's just. Or
you would have to have some astronomical like yards after catch, like something where it's like the guy throws a slant and you take it 70 yards like consistently,
and maybe a couple touchdown passes yourself on reverses. So,
yeah,
he'd be multi-talented, like a Debo who has like 5 rushing touchdowns. Yeah, something like that. If a receiver puts up a huge receiving yard total, plus he runs the ball numerous times, so it would take something like that. But
you need to do what Jamar Chase has done like 5 times this year: catch a slant, make 2 people miss, and then run to the end zone.
Yeah.
So I'll give you one more, and this one is Coach of the Year. And there's 3. And it's funny, and the reason why I threw this in there, it was just going to be 2, but I threw this one in here because I had a debate with some people at work today on lunch about the Coach of the Year. And to me, it was between 2 people. Like, it had to be one of these 2 people. I wouldn't entertain anything else. And I actually was shocked to see that the guy who's favored right now isn't one of the people that I was thinking. So I'll run through these. The front runner is a coach of a team that did not make the playoffs last year, but currently is making the playoffs, winner of a division at 10-6. Again, I'm telegraphing. I think you guys will figure it out. The other one is the coach of the number 1 seed in the NFC, projected to be 13-3 record with the reigning MVP and most likely future MVP for this year. The other one lost his best player on the team. Team was not projected to be an elite team, but it's the number 1 seed in the AFC, plus 275 for them. The number 1 seed in the NFC, plus 175, and the unknown at 10-6, winning a division, plus 160. What are your thoughts, and who are you picking?
I would take the 10-6 team, the first one you said. I think that you having the reigning MVP and the MVP like kind of and it covers up what you've done. It's kind of like when the Celtics had the big 3. I don't even think Doc Rivers won Coach of the Year because it was like, well, you have the big 3, so I would take the 10-6. I'm gonna say I want a shot in the dark. It's the Bengals.
Yeah, it is. And I didn't even. So to me, I'll jump in now since you guys know who they are. I was adamant. It had to be LaFleur or it had to be Vrabel. And to me, my vote would be Vrabel. But Vrabel's number 3 on the list. Like the team was not projected to be good. They lost their best player. Like they did it. They were the number one seed. Excuse me. And they're the number one seed with teams like, and I know they're not that great this year, but going into the season, Baltimore was a powerhouse. People thought Cleveland were going to be good. You still had Kansas City. Like you had the Patriots. You had like great pedigrees, and
Bills.
this guy comes in, loses Bills. That's the other team I was thinking of, not the Patriots. And you lose your best player, and you're the number one seed. I don't know how it's not Vrabel.
But well, you just kind of proved it. You just talked about two powerhouse teams, and you named two in his division. You just named the division. Look at the division is all going to end over 500, and then he wins it as opposed to the Texans and the fucking who's the other shit? The Jaguars. I mean, the Colts are good, but if you put the Colts in the AFC North, they're probably not even finishing fourth. Or they're third. So I think the division has a lot to do with it. How could you give it to LaFleur if they have 6 automatic wins a year? So I think that would be the argument. That would be the argument.
I know he wasn't one of your options, but what's the odds on Bill Belichick? Because the job he's done this
So
year.
I got that for you just because I saw. So the fourth option and the fifth option are Bill Belichick and Nick Sirianni. And I don't know the exact number. It's either, for a fact, they're both tied. It's either 25 plus 2,500 or plus 3,500.
Say, because Bill Belichick has done an amazing job this year. Like, with a rookie quarterback that, he's been doing a great job this year. I give him credit.
And I'm not trying to be a homer. And again, I would vote for Vrabel. But like Nick Sirianni looked like a bumbling idiot, and he led the team to the playoffs. The 7th seed, maybe the 6th, led the team to the playoffs. Nobody projected them to do anything.
I also think,
and with a quarterback that wasn't ranked anywhere remotely close to the top 10, top 20.
Yeah. But I
think it's Vrabel.
Can you also make an argument if the Saints get into the playoffs? Sean Payton is just, like, look at who he's had to play quarterback with. And it just proves, as I always said, like, was it really all Drew Brees, or was Sean Payton a big part in Drew Brees' success? I mean, that Brees's Payton's numbers without Brees are pretty good in his career, and I don't think he gets enough credit for what he did this year with Taysom Hill, Trevor Siemian, Jameis Winston hasn't played since Halloween, and he still has as many touchdown passes as Baker Mayfield. Go figure, right?
So if you had to guess at Sean Payton's odds, what are his odds for Coach of the Year?
Plus 700. Plus
5,000.
Plus 10,000.
That's unreal. That's like, if they get in the playoffs, you could argue he's as much deserving as Nick Sirianni. You could argue that.
No, definitely. Definitely. He's done a great job as well.
Y'all talking about awards makes me sad.
Yeah. On the Bucks.
Yo, what's Robert Saleh's
I don't know what his odds are to be a coach next year.
Yeah, what's his odds to come back as the Jets coach next year?
Yeah, fucking assholes.
Hey, man, they've been playing better ball as a late. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mr. Barrios.
I can't complain.
Little Braxton, dude.
And you got some high picks. You know what I'm saying? You're moving on up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Jordan Jefferson.
So I think a while ago, this will be the last one, but for offensive rookie of the year, and I'm not going to go through the stats or the guessing game, but I think like when we talked about it 2 weeks ago, the last time I was on the show, which had been
about a month ago,
a year and a half ago, I think we talked about
Jameis Winston was still starting quarterback.
I think Tim was the one that kind of mentioned Jamar Chase. Or maybe vice versa. I truly don't remember, but I think it's interesting that Jamar Chase is now the favorite at minus 250, and Mac Jones is plus 190. For what it's worth.
Yeah, this is offensive rookie of the year. Right?
Anything else? Say it again.
No, that's offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chase probably win that. Yeah.
Honestly, it's all
2 for 3 game really threw him on the side.
It's kind of like a what have you done for me lately type of award, especially towards the end of the season. And when Jamar Chase has a game like he did on Sunday, that's pretty good. Remember when he couldn't see the ball in preseason? I can't believe that's a real thing.
Hey, he can see it just fine now.
So I'm in a group chat with some people that are watching the show right now. And spoiler alert, I won my biggest fantasy league, which I was happy about. So, but I drafted Jamar Chase, and right like a week after I drafted him was when they were saying he might be behind Tyler Boyd. He's dropping passes. He's not the same player. And I told these guys in the group chat, who finished second, third, and fourth in the league, themselves, so they're good players. I was like, you literally, and one of them made a joke. They were like, I probably could have got him for James White. And I thought, like, you probably could have, because I love James White, that I just wasted an early pick on this guy. And I couldn't be happier that I stuck with them. And I will never believe, preseason hype and stuff like that. Or I should say, like, preseason knockout players more than hype. But terrified when I drafted him. Probably would have traded him for anything. But the guy won me a lot of money. So hashtag how rich. So I'm happy about that.
Do you never listen to anyone else?
I guess.
Trust your gut. Always.
Best advice we can give you on a show where you're listening to us. On a show where you're listening to us about sports betting, never take anyone's advice.
Absolutely.
If anybody else,
if you really like a player, go with it.
Yeah, no, that's it. We can get into the picks if you want, Nick.
Yeah, why don't we drop that dope ass beat that's playing in the replay? And Scott, why don't you take us through the standings?
All right. So after last week, Tim in the leaderboard, 35, 23, and 2. I'm in second place, 34, 25, and 1. Nick with a 4-1 week went 28 and 32. Sir, 26, 31, and 3 ties, which is just miserable. So we're gonna do two Saturday games and 3 of our own. This is the last week. I have a chance to catch Tim, and everyone else is kind of fighting for pride at this point. Nick needs to get the 500 or over, and Sir, if he goes 5-0, he can get the 500. So I got the lines for the Saturday game. I'll just say them right now. The Philly line, the Dallas Cowboys are a -5.5 right now, and the over/under is 43.5. So I'll just start with that one. I am going to take the under, sir. Under 43.5 in that Saturday game. I don't know who's playing. I think it'll be 21-17 either way. So that's my pick for that game.
Scott, come on, man. Listen, take some advice from your boy. Don't bet unders, all right? Listen, I don't care how amazing they look going to until it's triple zero on the clock, unders are always a dangerous bet. Give me the over 43.5. It don't matter who's playing. 43 points, it's not much.
Now, before I make my pick, me and Sir went to the AEW show last night, and I jokingly said that I'm just going to pick opposite of whatever Sir does, because that seems to be how to win on this show. But with that being said, give me Dallas -5. I don't think Philly plays their full squad. You don't even know who they're going to have available with COVID. And right now, 5.5. I had it at 5. Whatever. I'll take the extra half. No big deal.
Nick?
Yeah, I'm going to take Dallas too. I don't think Philly's going to play their guys. Tim mentioned COVID. I just think, I don't know. It's a tough week to bet in general. But I do think, and I wanted to touch on it before we got into the picks, I forgot. But, in a week like this where some of the stars are playing, plus we don't know what's going on with COVID, like, the games for the games matter where it's like the Chargers and the Raiders are looking at. So I think the number that's used for that game is an accurate number. Like, I think they know exactly what they're doing. Yeah. It's the games where they don't know what they're doing that I think I would be the most aggressive in, because nobody knows what's going on. So I think you can outsmart the smart, I guess. But that being said, I'm not going to overthink it. I would take Dallas. I think Dallas is a better team. They scare me to death come playoff time. I'm taking Dallas.
All right, so the next Saturday night game, Kansas City -10.5 and the over/under 45. Sir, I'm doing it again. I'm going with the under. Look at me saving this all for the last week. I'm going with the under 45. I think the Chiefs are going to win, but I could see this even being 30-14 covers the number here. So I'll go with the under on the.
The Chiefs minus 10.5. So I'm not betting against no damn Drew Lock. Y'all bugging. Come on now. Drew, that brother looking like certified trash cans. Like, so give Patrick Mahomes and company to beat the brakes off these boys.
Hey, you said 30-14. That's a perfect score for me because I got KC minus 10.5. They won 22-9 the first time they played. Like I said, sir, Drew Lock is certified ass.
Yeah, I'm going Kansas City too. I'm with him also. So.
Oh, plus and KC lost it last week to the Bengals, and they ain't very happy right now.
Here's your bounce back.
And if they win, do they clinch the 1 seed, or they gotta have Tennessee lose?
I think Tennessee needs to catch the L.
Okay, gotcha.
They still need to win.
Nick, if you want
Yeah,
to,
you know they still need to win to keep a spot on the pecking order. But nah, after losing last week, man, they ain't about to let Drew Lock and beat them. Come on.
Nick, if you want to go from the cellar up here and start with Sarah with the picks.
Man, cold blooded.
Yeah,
whatever.
sure.
It's all good. I'll take that.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes. But yeah, all right. So let me start off with I'll take your boys in this one. I'm gonna give Jets Bills over 41.5. You know what I'm saying? Jets offense is looking better. So the Bills with Josh Allen and company, they've been putting up some points. Said 41's not really a lot, so give me 41.5 over. And then next game on Sunday night, Chargers Raiders, give me over 49.5. Again, like the Chargers can put up some points, but they also give up a ton of points. This has shootout written all over it. Both these teams win and get in. Both have something to play for. Ain't nobody resting. So over 49.5 on the night game. And then the second one, Mike Tomlin is a dog again. Come on, fam. Like Big Ben's last game, give me the Steelers +6. Like, is Lamar playing? Who knows? Who cares? Give me Tomlin and company +6. To end the Big Ben run in Pittsburgh.
I'll start. I obviously we were going from bottom up, so I think I'm next. And I'll take you back off the stir. Pittsburgh +5 just makes no sense to me. I'm all over that. So I'm taking Pittsburgh. Like Sir said, Big Ben's live, and he's really one of the toughest to me quarterbacks of my life. I think to me he's the toughest quarterback of my lifetime. I would put him above anybody. I mean, the guy just got the shit kicked out of him, motorcycle accident, all the things, and is just, day in and day out, just a consistent player. I'm taking Pittsburgh. One last game for Big Ben, +5 against Baltimore. Who's the quarterback? Nobody knows. So give me that. I'm going to take Cleveland home, laying 6 against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's guys aren't playing. Baker Mayfield's pissed off. Rumors that, he's going to request a trade. Came out on Twitter saying, I'm not your puppet, to the reporter who made the accusation. I think Baker's pissed. Could be the Giants' next quarterback. We're releasing the competition. Knows. I'm being funny, but you never know. But I'm going to take Cleveland laying 6 against Cincinnati. In the last game, I'm doing it for Tim. I'm using Barstool, so it's 16.5. But I've seen it already up 17. Buffalo, they've covered some big spreads, but the game the last couple weeks, 16.5 Barstool is just too much to me. So I'm gonna go the Jets +16.5 away. Last game, go out with a bang. 16.5. Give me Cleveland laying 6 at home against Cincinnati. And give me the Pittsburgh Steelers and Ben's last hurrah +5 against Baltimore. What do we got? Tim?
Me.
Who's Tim or Scott?
I'll start. I'll agree with Nick on Cleveland -6. I think Mayfield has something to prove here, and the Bengals aren't starting their players. So, go out and win this game by 7 points. That's really not asking that much. And if you can't, they should get rid of Mayfield. Houston +10.5 at home versus the Titans. I could see the Titans really faltering with a dud here and squeaking this out to get home field, or blowing it and Kansas City somehow getting the 1 seed. So I'm going to take them +10.5. They play. The Texans play. Even though they don't win games, they play hard. They're not that talented, but they do play hard. And I'm going to go to the Sunday night game. Every year I want to take the Chargers serious, and something happens where you can't. I'm going to take them -3 to win this game. Justin Herbert, go in there and prove why you're a great young quarterback. Go win this game in Vegas. Vegas, God bless them, because the stuff they've overcome this year, I can't even believe they're in this position, but I'm going to take the Chargers -3.
Well,
So, Tim, we'll get to your, but anybody who's listening to WFAN, so there's more news to this Antonio Brown story. Does anybody want to hear it?
oh please.
I'm guessing you do. So there's an exclusive, and I'll just read the title. And if you want me to continue, I'll continue. But basically, fired Bucs star Antonio Brown smuggled OnlyFans model into his hotel for a steamy sex romp and told her to watch what I do tomorrow the night before he stormed off the field.
I don't buy
I mean,
it.
just in case you think this is some kind of like weird, well, it's definitely weird. But in case you think that this is some fake story from a fake account, Evan Roberts, who you have on the show soon, is tweeting about having her on and talking to her on his.
I don't
actual
believe
account.
her.
So it looks like it's a true.
Nah. Instagram
She did say she's
model-
blasting it for fame and money, so at least she's on.
Instagram model. Yeah, okay. Like, get out.
OnlyFans got
OnlyFans model.
Worse.
Yeah, you ain't doing
Worse.
shit. You just want people to subscribe to your channel. That didn't happen.
Railroad. Well, you'll get to talk to him about it on Friday.
Lick a toilet. Yeah, that'll be a fun topic of conversation. Tim, why don't we kick it to you?
Well, let me just start off by saying I don't have any of the same picks as you guys. I'll start off with my first pick, and that's the Washington team, whatever they're going to be called.
Hey, starting February 2nd, though, releasing a name.
Well, yeah, they're going to be something. And what they're going to be is they're going to be beating the Giants by 7 in the last week of the season. I don't know if you guys have followed the Giants games the past couple weeks, but they have they've
Bad.
the worst team in football. So I'm going to bet against them, and I don't, 7 points seems to be a lot because Washington's not the best team either, but the Giants have been that bad. Like 14-7's a push. If the Giants score more than 10 points, I would be absolutely surprised. Next game, give me the Pats. -6.5 against the Dolphins. Dolphins, when they play real teams, they look like the Dolphins, as you saw last week against Tennessee, and you can even say Tennessee's not that good. And, the Dolphins just didn't show up. Pats want to keep their spot, get home field advantage for a little bit of the playoffs. You got to cover 6.5, so I'll take them. And my last pick, over 44.5, Rams and the 49ers. Last 5 games, averaging 51 points a game combined. You're only at 44.5. Both teams got something to play for. I'll take the over.
All right, good luck, everyone.
So we got our picks. Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens there. If nobody has anything else on picks, I guess we will finish up and wrap up with the DFS. Sir, why don't we kick it to you?
All right, so this week is it's a little got to be careful with this week because he says players rest, last minute adjustment. So if you're gonna put your lineup in, make sure you double check it Sunday morning to see who's playing and who's not. Anyway, we'll start off with quarterback Kyler Murray, 7,400 against the Seahawks. Said Arizona needs to win to take the division down. Seattle's defense is known to give up some points. So 7,400. Give me Kyler Murray at running back. I gotta do it. Give me Jonathan Taylor 9,300. Why? He's Jonathan Taylor. He's the easy matchup. They're gonna probably give him the ball with a good amount of time, especially in the red zone. So 9,300, Mr. Taylor. RB2. I went this route 2 weeks. If the running back doesn't get hurt, it works. But give me Devin Singletary against 6K against the New York Football Jets. Why? Because sorry, old boy, but they're the Jets. Wide receiver 1. Thank you, sir. Wide receiver 1. Give me Tyler Lockett, 6,400. DK Metcalf had a great game last week. Tyler's going to be like, you know what? it's my turn now, so I look for him to put up some numbers against the Arizona defense. Wide receiver 2, give me Laquan Treadwell, 4,400. He's had around 10 fantasy DK points, so 6 straight games, and at 4,400, he should easily pay off that salary. Wide receiver 3, Antone Wesley, 4,100. He's had a touchdown in back-to-back games. Again, cheap option. Hopefully, if he finds the end zone, that salary, he'll pay it off real nice. At tight end, give me Zach Ertz, 5,300. He's been a target monster the last 4 games. Said Kyler looks his way early and often, so 5,300, he should pay off that salary. At the flex, give me Alan Lazard, 4,600. He's been a nice little complimentary piece for that Green Bay offense behind Mr. Adams. So 4,600, it's not terrible salary. And at defense, I'll take the Dolphins, 2,400. It's a cheap defense. If they can stop the run, they should be able to do something. But 2,400, all you need is a couple, maybe a sack or 2. Get lucky, get a pick, you'll pay off that salary. So I'll take the Dolphins, 2,400.
Tim?
Alrighty. Shout out to Big Mike, who took down the SBDFS last week. Thanks, Michael Carter, for getting hurt, ruining my Russell Wilson stack that looked pretty damn good. Well, let's try to stack again this week. I know Scott says Aaron Rodgers is not playing. No, Aaron Rodgers wants to be the MVP of the league. If you don't think he's not that selfish, all you got to do is listen to him once. With that being said, Aaron Rodgers, 7,800 against Detroit, that same team that Russell Wilson cooked against. And if he can cook against, Aaron Rodgers is going to have a field day. I'm pairing him with both Devontae Adams and, like Sir said, Alan Lazard, 9,400 and 4,600. And my final receiver, I'm taking Cyril Grayson, 4,400 against Carolina. No AB, target's got to go somewhere. He made a huge catch at the end of the Jets game that I think is really going to give him some more looks in that offense. Running back 1, I'm going Antonio Gibson, assuming he's healthy against the Giants. That's a straight game flow pick where I think Washington's going to get up and lean heavily on the run to hold on to the game. Running back 2, with no Joe Mixon this week because of COVID and no quarterback, I'll take Samaje Perine at 5,300 against Cleveland. At tight end, I'm going Pat Freiermuth, 4,600 against Baltimore. Big Ben's little safety blanket is back, another week healthier from his concussions. At flex, Michael Carter, 5,000 against Buffalo. He fucked me last week. He did, god damn it. But when he did play, he looked pretty good. Assuming he's healthy at 5K, he's going to be my flex spot. And defense, Washington football team, 3,100 against the Giants. Just picking on the Giants all day right now. That's it.
I have no idea what I'm doing with this lineup, with the games that are going on. So I'm going Taysom Hill at Atlanta, 6,200. Usually plays Atlanta pretty well. They need to win to get in. I think he'll do enough to win. Give me the only healthy running back on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Le'Veon Bell at 5,000. Give me Rashard Penny, who's actually been playing phenomenal over the fantasy playoff run at 6,500. Arizona, definitely you can run on. Wide receivers, give me St. Brown, Detroit. Guy's been phenomenal the last couple of weeks. Really has been very good all year, but the last couple of weeks has just really gotten red hot. So 6,800 for him. Hunter Renfrow, 6,600 against the Chargers. And give me Donovan Peoples-Jones at 4,300. Cheap option, but the last time he faced Cincinnati, who was trying at the time, 2 for 86 and a touchdown. Big run, or a big catch for a touchdown there. Like I said, I think Baker's going to come motivated. If San Francisco's beating the Rams, they're beating them with one man, and that man is George Kittle. So give me George Kittle at 6,700 at tight end. Give me Samaje Perine, just like Tim, at flex at 5,300. I'm going to take the Lions defense in quite a few games, even though they haven't won many. But yeah, I'm taking that.
The Lions won one game that was very important for me this year. That's all that matters. So we'll go with defense. I'll start from the bottom of the top. Defense 2,600 Cleveland. Flex. I'm gonna go with Terry McLaurin 6,200. Tight end George Kittle, same as Nick. Wide receivers Diggs 7,800. Peoples Jones 4,300. Lazard 4,600. AJ Dillon 6,200. Running back. I'm gonna go with Barkley for the Giants 6,100. I think he's gonna fool the Giants into signing a long-term deal with a big game this Sunday. And my quarterback, if he starts, Jordan Love, 5,500 to pair with Alan Lazard and A.J. Dillon. That is if he starts. Look for him. I think this is a very important game if he starts. I do. I think this is a very important game for the Packers if he starts, to see what they have in the second start, to see if they could pull the trigger, or if Rodgers does move on, they have to draft someone else. I think if Love starts, it's a huge game for him. So hopefully he does. I'd like to see it.
This Ava Louise girl, who is the Antonio Brown girl, also just put on her Instagram that the Buccaneers should test their team because she just tested positive for COVID. So,
It's just like
and then posted the positive COVID test.
clout chasing. I don't trust any of these people anymore. Like clout.
It's definitely the story that keeps on giving at the very least. So, a lot of fun.
Man, I see why Bruce Arians' company got rid of AB now. It's like, man, if you don't get out of here with that foolishness. BA's old school, so he ain't gonna.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, we started with AB and we ended with AB. Thanks for tuning in to Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets. Check out the show. I guess I'll see you guys for the Super Bowl. That's my next time on.
Yeah.
So we'll go from there.